Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. Reminder of our top stories. Senate stalls reading of defection letter by 11 PDP senators seeking to cross to the APC. President Jonathan launches Industrial Revolution Plan with a focus on micro, small and medium enterprises. INEC Chairman Professor Atahiru Jega defends February date for 2015 elections as a window for post-election litigations. An Algerian Ministry transport plane crashes in a mountainous area with 71 passengers confirmed dead. Well, just a reminder to you that all our top stories are on our website, Channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. To get us on the move, visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. Of course, you can take it a step further and interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android and Windows 8 platforms. So if you have pictures or videos to share with us, tap on the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and then follow the instructions to share your reports, pictures, and videos. Well, some of you have already been sending those reports in. Here are some of our eyewitness reports that we received today. Now, much has been done with regard to transportation in Lagos, but as this picture on our eyewitness report shows, a lot more still needs to be done to discourage people from taking risks, such as shown here, which happens almost on a daily basis at the Ido-Ijoku rail line. And from Delta, this time in Sapele, is this picture showing a major road in the town which is almost covered with refuse. Now, with the dearth of infrastructure in the country, one wonders why people should do this to themselves. And still on the Escrovus workers' strike in Warri, Delta State, this picture sent in today shows the workers of the gas-to-liquid company protesting what they term poor welfare packages. They say most of their colleagues have been sacked because of health problems, which they claim emanate from the poor working conditions that they experience there. Well, we'd like to say thank you to all our viewers who sent in those pictures, and to others to send in yours as well, as your reports are very important to us here on Channels Television. Moving right along now, guests and major players in the country's industrialization drive have commended the launch of the Nigeria Industrial Revolution Plan. They are of the view that if faithfully implemented, the initiative will help address unemployment and control importation of finished goods into the country. Our correspondent Ayotunde Balogun reports.
The federal government's industrialization drive has received a boost. The Nigeria Industrial Revolution Plan and the National Enterprise Development Program has been launched by President Goodluck Jonathan. And distinguished guests who were at the landmark event in Abuja had nothing but fine words for the policy in their goodwill messages. The president of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria believes that the policy is coming at the right time.
The policy that will guide the implementation of the various plans must, as usual, have the input of the stakeholders, and the policies must have the buy-in for a successful implementation.
A major player in the manufacturing sector, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, also expressed his optimism towards the policy.
If somebody had actually mentioned to me that, look, you had a dream of investing in agriculture, I would have said no. But today we are going to champion to be sure that in the next 4 to 5 years, we will not demand a single dollar for sugar. To import sugar, we produce it here locally.
State governors present also had an opportunity to bear their minds on the initiative as well.
Just 2 days ago, we launched a mortgage refinancing, which will turn around the housing sector in Nigeria, and yesterday was power. Today is industry. I commend you for your political will.
But what is more exciting to me is the micro and the small and medium enterprise program, because that is what will engender inclusive growth and development in this country. One of the things we have done in Gombe and across our sub-region is to try to build and also establish some of these skill acquisition centers to start training and give a faster training models to our people so that they will understand the issues that are involved in getting access to some of these things that will gradually be evolved.
A great economy is based on a sound industrial growth, and with the launch of the Industrial Revolution Plan, it is hoped that Nigerians will begin to reap its benefits in the near future. Ayotunde Balogun, Channels Television News.
Now, ahead of the proposed national conference, the chairman of the socio-political group, the Patriots, Professor Ben Nwabweze, has insisted that the right to self-determination must be subject to a debate. At a conference organized by the Ethnic Nationalities Movement, Professor Nwabweze criticized the federal government for sidetracking ethnic groups, whom he described as the real stakeholders in Nigeria with the lowest representation. For the professor, who supports the conference but faults its modalities, Nigeria cannot hope to resolve its challenges with misplaced priorities.
The Hausa, the Igbo people, the Chukris, the Dove, already the purpose of this Hausa already demanded it. We must all come together to agree on this. But the proviso, of course, that it is not an invitation to invoke it. We should be there. Yes. Now, the ethnic nationalities, as I said, they are the soul, they are the heart, and the soul of the Nigerian nation. Don't just dismiss them like that. They dismiss them like that. It means that the Nigerian nation has no heart, has no soul, and it will eventually be aware, which is what we do want. So let us be wise and accept the negative. There's no way you can begin to deal or grapple with the problem of marginalization and oppression and injustice without bringing the ethnic nationalities together. There are the people who wear the shoe, and there are the people who don't wear the punches.
Chairman of the Patriots, Professor Ben Nwabweze. Now, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Atahiru Jega, has defended the choice of February as the month for the 2015 general elections. At a meeting jointly organized by INEC and the National Broadcasting Commission today, the INEC chairman said the decision is to allow for a period of litigation by candidates in the elections. He denied allegations that INEC changed the sequence of the elections, adding that such allegations will not influence the decisions of the electoral body. Our correspondent Omelego Nadi reports.
This forum, which pulled together broadcasters, media executives and politicians, was convened to brainstorm on the role of the media in ensuring a successful, free and fair general elections in 2015. The agenda for the day was set rolling by the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. He, besides listing his expectations of the media ahead of the general elections, defended the choice of February for the 2015 elections.
INEC's choice of those dates was informed by purely rational and logical considerations. We did not fix these dates to advantage one group or to disadvantage any other group.
The media is part of the problem, not really the solution. It's not. We reflect society, but we have our own interests. The biggest problem for the Nigerian media as far as elections are concerned is that we don't have a defined role. We cannot operate outside the interests of those who own us, and we will simply continue to operate that. If you want us to operate better, address the dependence of the media on narrow interests that exist in this country.
But today's discussion got even more upbeat when the media practitioners led by the chairman of Channels Television, Mr. John Mama, defended the role of broadcast media and listed issues that must be tackled before the general elections.
I think that it is good for INEC to understand that as you go into these elections, that there will be need for you to have an implosion of information. In fact, there's need for you to do a regular briefing on a daily or weekly basis as we go into the elections. Every day, journalists are attacked for doing their jobs. Inasmuch as we said that this is true violence, there is need for journalists to be protected in the coming elections.
The rules of the game are clear. These key players say what is left is for each party to play its role to the letter, be it politicians, the electoral body, the regulators, or even the media. The 2015 elections are expected to be highly contentious. What each party does will determine its outcome. Omelogo Nadi, Channels Television News.
Now, the dust raised by the Central Bank Governor Lamido Sanusi over non-remittance of oil revenue into the Federation account by the NNPC is yet to settle. A coalition of civil society organizations under the aegis of the Say No campaign has asked the Senate Committee on Finance to thoroughly investigate the allegation. Members of the coalition are also recommending an automated system of revenue collection to solve the challenge of non-remittances to the government's coffers.
Make practical recommendations, including the institutions of the interface and automated system among the revenue collection agencies of the government on how best to deal with the general challenges of non-remittance by agencies of government, the NNPC inclusive, the Federation accounts, to ensure a follow-up of the Senate and the entire National Assembly on the implementation and recommendation of the committee. We also want the government to galvanize and appropriate support for the speedy passage of the petroleum industry bills, that's PIB, toward achieving sustainable reforms in the oil and gas. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, you will agree with me. There are a lot of sufficient evidences to prove and show that what is going on in this country is not healthy for our country. No country can afford this outright stealing and looting of public funds. And the funny justification that we were told only when this issue was raised was that money was used for runaround maintenance. Who approved that? The truth of the matter is that no money that is supposed to go to Federation account supposed to be spent without due process, without appropriation, that is supposed to be approved by the National Assembly.
Now, when the news at 10 returns, Bank of Industry to empower entrepreneurs under the federal government's Industrial Revolution project. That will be on Business News. Please stay with us.